Hi there, this is Diane Forster, founder of I Have Today, and welcome to our show. This is a special edition of I Have Today. It is our Masterclass, where we bring on incredible influencers, experts, global leaders, and life changers who are making a massive impact on the world, and they come on this show to share their story with us. And today I am very excited about having my friend, my guest, Miss Michelle Patterson on the show. Yay. Hey, Michelle, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And so we have to actually plan on being on each other's podcasts so that we're seeing each other sometimes.
Yes.
We get so busy. It's like, all right, at least we know we'll see each other when we set these times up.
It's so true. It's so true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about Michelle, and then we're going to get into your story. We want to know the background, what have been some of the challenges, what's happening right now with you in your new amazing role. And then we'll give some more information to the audience about what's happening, how progressive this is, this business that you've created and your role in this business, which is so phenomenal. So let me tell you a little bit about Michelle Patterson. Lauded Business and Community Accelerator. Michelle Patterson is the Chief Experience Officer of MyJane, a membership community delivering curated cannabis education and experiences for women. She is the former CEO of media and production company Woman Network, LLC, and served as the exclusive event producer of the California Women's Conference. Amazing. The author of Women Change the World, Michelle Patterson is a sought-after media commentator for Bloomberg, CNBC, Fox Business News, ESPN, HuffPost, and hundreds of other TV and radio stations, including the Dear Jane podcast. Los Angeles Business Journal recognized Michelle Patterson as its Corporate Advocate of the Year in 2016, and World Boxing Council also named her as its Woman of the Year in 2017. Wow, Michelle. Quite a few accomplishments there. Well, that is amazing, amazing. So tell us what's going on with you now as Chief Experience Officer of MyJane.
So I had said yesterday, we were at an event, a lava event. So Kim Kovacs, give a shout out. She was running a panel, and we ended up really sharing what we're doing with MyJane, but it's to normalize cannabis. Mm-hmm. It's to be able to really take back, our wellness and look at healthy options that are available out there for women.
Yes.
So for us to be able to have the facts and the information that's necessary for us to give that to ourselves, putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first.
Yes.
And then being able to care for our family. And you and I have talked about this before. I mean, we're 85% of the decision maker.
Right.
We're 95% of the decision maker for wellness issues.
Right.
It's, people go to the dentist when your mom gets home and it's like, we need this done. And I'm the one that's focused on making sure that my kids, and my husband get what they need.
Right.
And
wow.
So with MyJane, what's so exciting is we personalize it directly for women. Meaning that we go ahead and we deliver these curated cannabis boxes that are filled with 8 to 10 products that you have actually specified what you want. Do you want a vape pen? Do you not want a vape pen? And what we do is we look at, we take the story around the conversation around the elements that you're facing. So for example, my mother, has not had, up until now, she had not had a good night's sleep, and she had been taking Ambien, and it was causing her to sleepwalk. And my dad ends up calling and says, "You know what? We need to talk about this because your mother has not been sleeping." And keep in mind, and you know this because you know my family is former DEA, and definitely not in favor of cannabis.
Right.
And then we just started talking about there's new resources out there. There's new information out there, and really talking about the fact that, let's look at these issues. So in Orange County, we launched, And we went through, we interviewed 43,000 women.
Wow.
And what they came back with is they said, you know what, we have an issue around sleep, we have an issue around pain, and we have an issue around anxiety.
Yes.
And they had stress. And we need those 3 areas covered. And I believe that we have the information available today. I believe that with technology that we absolutely can solve these issues.
Right.
We should not have women out there
Suffering.
Suffering,
No.
not sleeping, we're not functioning, and so going back to my mother, we put her on initially a vape pen, and that startled her. And it was the smoke, and again, it's looking at healthy options. So for her, it's, I don't want to use a vape pen.
Right.
So then we looked at a tincture, and that's just simply, a drop.
Yes.
And goes right under the tongue, and that worked.
Oh, okay.
And that did the trick. And it was, 7 hours of sleep and another 7 hours. And so being able to have something that you can go to that doesn't have the side effects, that's not sleep medication. We're not looking at opioids, but something that's available out there to help women,
right,
so that they in turn can help their families. Because it's and you and I, we've been dear friends, and we've been talking about these issues. And for me, I've done some phenomenal things that I'm very, very, very proud of. The California Women's Conference.
Yes, amazing.
Stuff that I've really, really enjoyed. And I feel like this is that next chapter.
Yes.
And it's focusing me, the last 9 years, I focused on this conference, and we looked for resources out there available to be made to women. And I came across Cannabis. I had women that were coming to the organization saying, we want to have an exhibit booth. We want to participate in a panel. And so I started looking at this, and it's like, we need to talk about this.
Right.
Before we completely, brush it off the table. Let's look at what is available out there for CBD, for THC. So we went through all that, and after having all this information come back, and my mother sleeping, and what it's done for me personally, and my family.
You gave me a cream for my tennis elbow, and my elbow feels great.
I gave you Phytazol, so
yes,
you loved
did.
it.
I did.
I love the guys at Phytazol because they're good guys making a great product, and people that I've given it to, and we put it through our experienced testers,
yes,
and had them try it. So you were my experienced tester.
I was,
which I love. I mean,
Yeah.
you call me, you're like, okay, I need something.
Yes,
but that's awesome. So it worked.
It did. It worked. I love the whole curated concept, because I've been getting several things, different companies sending different things, whether it's cosmetics or whatever, beauty products, different things, because it gives you the opportunity to sample things and try it and really figure out what works for you. So what is so far? I mean, the company's only been around 5 months, right? And yeah, you've already, so much growth and so many things are changing already, and you haven't even really got off the ground
talk about
yet.
that too, and
Yeah,
just
we will.
not having to take on everything, but
Yes.
really surrounding yourselves with people that are living to their strength, and they're living in their genius, and they're on this mission. I mean, I've never worked with a team that everybody is coming to the table and just pure passion.
Yes.
And this is not their first rodeo. They've done this before. I look at Kim Kovacs, our CEO. I mean, she's, raised, $100 million in her last raise. I mean, she's done all these different things, and she means business. I mean, for her, this is a personal mission, like myself and really everybody that's on the team. It's, why do we not have this?
Yes.
I mean, why do we not have this information? And to go to your point about personalizing it is, I could take a product and I can give you a product, and we can have a different effect.
Oh, yes.
So to be able to have 8 to 10 products, or in our smaller versions, 5 to 7, to be able to go through and experience, these different products and not have to get a full size,
Right.
but have an experience, whether it's a bath bomb, whether it's, my favorite is a Kikoko tea.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Which I brought you some, by the way.
Did. Oh, good. Oh, great.
I love the women at Kikoko tea, because they're they're on a mission as
So
well.
this is fun. You're meeting all of these amazing companies that are producing these products, and what is so good about the curated package? It comes to your door, right?
It
so
does.
There's privacy there.
And thank you for bringing that up, because what's so exciting. So we acquired a rideshare company, CJ and Go, and their database, and phenomenal group. And then we opened it up and started bringing in individuals that could be our brand ambassador. So they are delivering these curated cannabis boxes. So by women, for women, to you. And the conversations are like us.
Yeah.
And it's really talking about, the benefits, and talking about the fact that, it literally makes you want to cry. Individuals who, broke their foot. And I had one friend that called and said, she has 10 children, 10 kids. And she said, I would rather give birth again than go through the pain of her broken foot and her back.
Yeah.
Because of the boot, she was completely out of whack. And her whole response to me was, what do you have? What do you have? And so I got her a couple different things, because again, it appeals to people differently, depending on what you take. And she goes, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough.
Wow.
Because she was feeling better.
Yes.
And the doctors were prescribing stuff that was going to make it so she couldn't drive. It's like, I have 10 kids.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to get back in the car? How am I supposed to drive?
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
Right. And, my total belief, medication, it's really masking this, and it's causing side effects over here. And it's just, this is definitely a better way to go. So what's been your biggest challenge so far with all of this?
It's exciting, because I thought it was going to be just the uncomfortableness about cannabis. Right?
Yeah.
I really, really did think. And for me personally, my dad's my superhero. And,
Yes, I know that.
as I'm telling my dad, I'm a healer, not a dealer, Dad. This is what I'm going into. And,
You are a healer.
and I think having that conversation and knowing that this was something that my mom really needed, it was hard to have that conversation,
Yes.
about cannabis and about THC and about, taking a tincture or vape. Just to go through that process initially, because I was worried.
And that
about the response.
Not only that, I'm making this my career. Like, this is what I'm
This
doing
is what I do.
full time.
Yes.
And this is, I'm out, as the face of this, one of the faces of this company, as, one of the
So the
executives.
voice, so the voice of my Jane.
Yes.
And I'm the demographic. I've got
Yes.
the kids. But we're really, it's, I'm my Jane. You're my Jane.
Yes.
We just want to come to the table, no judgment.
Yep.
I want to be able to talk to somebody that could be a trusted advisor or one of our wellness advocates. And that's something too, rather than go online and order something that maybe you have questions about,
Right,
and you want
right.
to talk to somebody, you can actually get on the phone and talk to a wellness advisor, and you can talk to them about, anything. It could be fibromyalgia. It could be my mom's not sleeping. It could be, and have a consultation.
Yeah.
So go to myjane.com and you can get that phone number. But that's invaluable. So often, we have questions about it. And that's what we're finding is that, women right now, they just want advice that they can count on. Right. They don't want to be sold to. They don't want to, feel shamed for asking the
really
questions.
a really good point. Yes.
It's like, why are we doing that when we have stuff out there that can help us? For me personally, I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
It didn't agree with my system.
Yeah.
I have alcoholism in my family, myself included. It doesn't serve me, and it doesn't allow me to show up in a better,
Right.
my best self.
Right.
And that's where with cannabis, I can go ahead and take CBD that will address, the aches and pains. So rather than, reaching for that glass of wine, because I am, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I've got aches and pains.
And not only the aches and pains, the stress. Because every
Right.
disease that we have starts from stress. It does.
Right. Well, think of the word dis-ease.
Right.
Dis-ease
Of the mind.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so excited, and I'll tell your audience because you're my bestie. And our families know each other. But one of the things that I'm really, really excited about is our sleep campaign.
Okay.
And what we're going to be rolling out next month is we're actually doing an entire sleep program where you can go ahead, you can get your sleep box, and you're going to be journaling, and we're going to go through and we're going to track how many people were able to go ahead and get a good night's sleep, because of the program. And we're evaluating the top 10 resources that are available out there to get a good night's sleep. And we're going to be talking to people that are out there, like an Ariana Huffington and a Dr. Bruce, the sleep doctor.
Yes.
And, talking to the experts that are out there and pulling the conversation together and interviewing them and discussing, we just want the facts. We just want the information to be able to go back and get a good night's sleep. So we've got that's rolling out, which I'm really excited about.
Very exciting.
And then we'll go into pain.
Yes.
And then we're going to go into an anxiety, which spells out my favorite, spa.
So does it?
Yeah. So the remaining of the year, I will be spying. We will be tackling and actually showing results of these are the individuals who are now getting a good night's sleep. And people everywhere, I mean, it's, to me, I don't understand why people, that's something that we don't, because we have access to it.
It is rampant. It is crazy how sleep deprived people are. And what's
right, and
happening
we have stuff
resources,
available.
yeah.
For example, my husband. So he's same thing. He loves is Lucid Mood sleep.
Yes.
Pen.
Okay.
And that's in our box.
Yes.
And they're out of Colorado. Good friends. I mean, you meet these brands and you start talking to these brands, and they all have this story about how they are on a mission to be able to get these great products. And so for us, it's just been these beautiful partnerships with these brands that are producing and putting out the best of the best product. Mm-hmm. So imagine going through 1,100 brands, because you have stuff out there that, doesn't even have CBD in it. Doesn't even have the, it's snake oil. It's not anything. And so for us to be able to vet it, to do that good housekeeping stamp of approval and say, okay, here's a box. And so for me, having my mother be my first experienced tester.
Yes.
Who, let me tell you, if you want your mom, working, I mean, my mother would tell me, she's like, she would taste the tincture and she's like, this tastes like cat shit.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm like, when have you tried cat shit?
Yeah.
But it just tastes terrible.
Yeah.
And so my mom, was my, it's like, no, I knew that if it didn't get past her, it's, it's not going in the box at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's pivot the direction, because I want to talk about the business side of the business, of the company and the brand. You sold the company in 5 months after you started it. That is just
so I actually came in to the company. So just again, these amazing, founders. So definitely a shout out to Kara and Ryan and Cam and Kim and what they did. And I was able to look for 9 months. We talked about this when I was looking for a company that I could partner with that had the business acumen to become a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Because I knew, and it wasn't about being a $1 billion company because of $1 billion. It was, I wanted to make sure that this plant medicine and that these resources got out to the masses.
Yes.
And we'll see, I mean, and we're already seeing that now is, people are talking about it, and, I've got, people every day, that are being referred in. My dad's a huge advocate, that are reaching out saying, okay, are you in our city? We want you to deliver to us. Yes. And we did. We had our How to Love the One You Love event, which you went to.
I did. It was an amazing launch
Wasn't
party.
That a great party?
It was a great party.
So let me tell you, because I'm so excited, and that's why this, the business concept, because it really goes back to Rosa, who I was meeting with yesterday, and we're talking to, but she had made the comment, and I said, so Rosa, for marketing, you're the CMO for these amazing companies out there. what is it that you look for? And she's like, I always look for, and it's the customer. It's that unique offering to the customer. And I thought, you know what, as the chief experience officer, that's all I look for. That's all, I'm interested in. If we can go ahead and solve a problem and we can make it where people are sleeping and, they don't have pain and they don't have the anxiety. I mean, just let's start with that.
That's
what we're going to do.
Certainly.
Down.
Yeah.
But those, came together, looked for them. I interviewed with companies up and down the coast, and I found this, spectacular company with phenomenal people that we just got each other. And it was like, okay, it's time. This is a global movement. We are out there looking for individuals that have these amazing products, and we're going ahead and we're vetting them out, and then we're putting the best of the best together in this curated box and delivering it to you.
Yes.
And it is going crazy, and it's so much bigger than even just a box, but it's an opportunity for women to really help women, and for us to show up in our genius in our area of specialty and to say, you know what, this is what I use. And so to be able to set up, this hotline and this cannabis concierge piece where you
build
can
this
call.
Massive community. Yes. That's so powerful.
It's
so
exciting.
Important.
It's growing really, really, really fast. So much so that at Showgrow, when we did our big launch, we broke multiple records. It was the most they had in attendance for an event. We did almost 800 for this little window of time from 4 to 8. It was 796 people showed up, and they were not all women. It was men and women, and a good majority had never been to a dispensary, nor would they have gone in. I mean, for women in particular, soccer moms, they can't bring their kid.
They can't
even to a dispensary.
I've only been. Well, now I've been in two because I went to your party. And what an experience that was. So I could see women being really intimidated by that experience. Number one, maybe. I don't know if they've never been in it. I went with friends, so there was no way I was going alone. I just didn't want to.
And
I
then
didn't have
edibles
that desire.
And what you're taking.
Then,
I mean, I don't know about all of us, but I had a horrific experience with an edible.
Yeah.
Where I was, and now I know what to do when that happens. I can then take CBD, and we have product that you can take so it counterbalances that. So you're not loopy,
and I love that you have that, what'd you call the customer support line?
This cannabis concierge. But think about calling my Jane. I mean, you're calling Jane and you're talking to a trusted advisor.
Right, a trusted advisor.
That's not going to judge you, but just answer the questions that I need answered so that I feel good about giving this to my family.
Yes.
I mean, my dog is taking CBD now. I mean, my husband, I mean, it's just, and my kids are on CBD.
Yeah.
And I use THC. I mean, it definitely helps me sleep. Yeah. I use it for a social, lubricant, and that, which is, that weird word, social lubricant. But again, it's becoming mainstream.
It is. And it's about time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It can, because it's a healthy option. For me personally, it's like, okay, would I rather, have a glass of wine with the sugar and the alcohol, and it just, I have zero interest when I can go ahead and have not only a positive response, but I don't feel bad the next day. I don't have a hangover, or anything like that.
Right.
So it's exciting.
And you sleep well.
And it's what it's doing. Your endocannabinoid system is what it's regulating. So it's getting all of us into this homeostasis pattern and regulating us. And we're born with a cannabinoid system, which a lot of people don't realize.
I didn't realize that.
So for us to be able to have this, it's really regulating. So the people that I'm working with every day are literally showing up in their best self to be able to get this messaging out there and really tell everybody that there are options.
Right.
And just take a look at it. It might not be something for you, but it might be exactly what you were looking for.
Right.
And take that pain away. Like so many of the people that we work with. I mean, I have a hard day not getting emotional because you hear these stories about families, whose child had a seizure and they literally crossed state line to be able to get to the family, or, kids that have been taking stuff that they, again, because of these side effects and the effect that it has on your organs, it's not a healthy option.
Right. So where do you see this business going in the next few years?
Well, they're predicting California in particular. I mean, it's explosive. I mean, the numbers are staggering on the growth and the number of dispensaries that will be made available. But also too, it's, with us, the nice thing with going with My Jane is you don't have to find out the answers to your questions and come out of the cannabis closet. I mean, you can stay in the closet.
Yes.
and we're really starting the conversation around cannabis, but we're going to be talking about other things as well and talking about why we're not talking about these things.
Right.
I mean, there should be no shame.
Right.
I mean, if somebody goes into my purse and, they see, I mean, let's talk about this stuff because people are taking it and what effect is it having on you?
Right.
And if it's not something that you should be taking, we need to be talking about that.
Right.
And it's hitting close to home with your family. So the growth is, over the top.
Yes.
in what's coming down the pipeline. And we do have a podcast that will be coming out that will be talking specifically about just how companies, what they're doing to make progress, how people can get involved in the industry, what's the data that's out there, which is really something that's, close to Kim Kovac's heart, is looking at the data and being able to go ahead and say, because, somebody, tries this, vape pen with this terpene, with this, I mean, let's, what result does that have with it? And so rather than making it this, science test, I just want to know what I need to take that's going to make me feel better so that I can have a good night's sleep.
Right.
And I don't want to find out that, it's causing problems with my heart, that I need a pacemaker, or, it's like we're really jumping to the extreme before utilizing this plant medicine and what's available out there.
Right. I'm with you all the way. I think it's amazing.
It is. And people will ask me, it's like, oh, Michelle, it sounds like you're saying that it's going to take care of everything. And I say, no, it's not going to take care of everything, but it's pretty close. It's taking care of a lot of stuff.
Why not?
I mean, why not? And that's where, for me as this chief experience officer, my first and foremost priority is to take care of my family. And in taking care of my family and getting my family what they need, and I'm able to communicate that and share that with the rest of the world, that's awesome.
Right.
But that's why I looked at it, is like, this is stuff that I need to take care of my family.
You're living this. So talk about a testimonial for the company, the brand, the business, the result.
Each one of us too. It's not like it's affecting one family member. I mean, all of us are looking at this plant medicine to be able to help. It's, I have horrific psoriasis.
Okay.
And so I had to make a decision. It was like, am I going to take, this pharmaceutical drug, which I did. I ended up taking Stellara and then, supplementing it with, cannabis and being able to go ahead and, put, the ointment on and be able to have this. And I wanted to be able to have the information so that I can make an educated decision on what was going to be good for me. And so I think that's what it's really about, is just women, ask the questions. Let's not be afraid to ask the questions or be intimidated by the guy in the white coat.
Right.
Their job, their role should be to help us feel better.
Right.
And to help us in our wellness.
Right.
And have corrective measures so that we can take stuff that's not going to have an adverse effect.
Right. I agree. You walk into the doctor's, and this is me, I'm just talking about me, but you go into the doctor's office and they are constantly pushing prescription drugs at you. And,
Well, and when you talk about the money, we have a system that does not support this plant medicine and does not support cannabis. And that's a problem. I mean, our CEO will talk about it. Kim talks about her, mother-in-law and how she had been taking opioids and had started taking cannabis and felt, so much better, so much so that she was able to come off of the others.
Yeah.
And that's the right answer. And because her insurance doesn't cover cannabis, she then had to go back onto the opioids. So you have decisions. And my whole thing is, why are we, there's no shame in that. That's a problem with the system.
Right.
That is a problem with the system. That is a problem with how the insurance, companies are being billed. That is not the problem, of Kim's mom. That is the problem of the system.
Right.
And that's for us. It's like, in showing up and, let's not talk about, God, you could have done this, we should have, and going down that path. Let's talk about what we
here
need.
We are right now.
Exactly.
Here today.
Yeah. What could we do?
Right.
With the new information that we have, and that's what technology brings. That's what the internet brings. That's what My Jane brings is these delivered cannabis box. We're doing the work, for you so that you can take things that are healthy, that really, and try out and see what makes a difference, and have a curated box specifically around sleep.
Yes.
Or pain or anxiety, or a romance box, like our How to Love the One You Love box.
Yes.
Which, let me tell you, it was good.
Yeah, was it good?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're in the perfect role as Chief Experience Officer, and
you can tell I love what I'm doing.
Yes,
Like
you have
my
no passion
like,
whatsoever.
Oh my God, I go, you know what it is I'm doing, like when I'm working and playing, it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't feel different.
Yeah.
That's how much I'm enjoying this.
That's so fun. I hear it. I hear it in you. I see it in you, and it's very evident, which is amazing. So, all right. So
thanks for having me on.
Of course. So tell the viewers how they can find out more information about this, the sleep program that you're doing. And
okay, perfect. So what you want to do is you want to go to myjane.com. And what you'll be able to do is fill out a questionnaire that's coming shortly. So fill out a questionnaire, and that will then let you know exactly which box you need to be prescribed to and get something that is specific to you. And if you have questions, you also can go online and get the phone number and schedule a call with one of our wellness advisors.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you have the built-in community there as well, which
you
is
do.
great.
So you can go in and then ask questions or share what's working. If you have testimonials, things that are working for you and you want to share that back. We learn from each other. That's how we socialize this medicine. So take the time to share. And I look at it too. It's really for women right now. We're at a place. It's about receiving. We are busy, trying to stay afloat, and we're exhausted and we're tired. This is the opportunity now for us. Let's receive.
Yes.
Let's receive this. We're giving, and, you have your own My Jane. You've got My Jane, that's there, and let My Jane do the work to get you, the things that you need to have the gift of wellness.
Yes. Health and wellness is the most important thing, and you said it. You are there. 85% of the decisions are made. 95% of the
wellness
decisions are made, and you're nothing if you don't have your health. It's the most important thing.
You can't do anything.
You can't.
And that's the thing is that when my mom was talking about the fact that, she was prickly. Like, when you're so exhausted and you haven't had a good night's sleep, where you just... You're prickly. You don't feel good.
Right.
And when you don't feel good, we forget trying to be on boards and going out and running companies or
forget it.
Selling a company. Forget about that. You can't function.
Right.
It's not okay.
Talk about driving, but getting behind the wheel of a car. It's like not even running the boards. That too, but even like simple things. You're not at your best.
You're not at your best. And this is about. I am on a mission to make sure that you are showing up in the best version of yourself in your earth suit.
Here.
Let's go.
Here. I love that.
Feel better. Feel better. You don't have to have a day go by without feeling better.
I totally agree. And our mission at I Have Today is about intentional living, and you only have today. That's the only thing you're guaranteed. So make better decisions. Do not continue to put your health and wellness and your happiness on hold. And I'm so grateful for you.
You embody this.
Wow.
I mean, I remember you at my house and we were talking about I Have Today, and I'm like, you lead with that. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
I mean, we have today. Why are we going to give up our well-being to chance and to somebody else? Nobody's going to take care of your well-being like you take care of your well-being.
No one. Yeah.
I mean, really. And again, we have one life to live. You know, you have today. I mean, I love your message, Diane.
Thank you.
I love what you stand for. And it's truly coming from a place of personal experience and then wanting to give back and love.
Oh, yeah.
Truly.
Well, that's why we're soul sisters, because we're on this mission to really serve in a really huge way.
Yeah. And have fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, why are we this actually can be fun. I mean, that's one thing I like. I mean, I'm like, cannabis, it's definitely topical.
Fun. Yeah.
A little sexy, a little edgy. I'm like, God, I think I would rather tell my dad I was, pregnant out of wedlock, or, I'm like, cannabis. I'm like, this is, it's.
But good for you.
It's exciting.
Searched and you sought it out to really do something that was progressive, and it's brilliant.
That solved a problem for so many.
Yes.
And, to me, it's like that whole mindset. You can solve a problem for one person. I mean, if one person gets a good night's sleep, if one person's not just suffering in pain, I think about, my meme, my grandmother who died of cancer. And I mean, painful.
Oh, wow. I know my mom died of painful cancer.
I mean, it's just, it's where that blood curdling scream of just pain. And it's like, it's inhumane. It's not okay. It's not right. And so for me, selfishly, it's like, if I can go ahead and find stuff that will help my family, have their best life and just, live this beautiful life of health. Because you're absolutely right. If you don't have your health, you aren't getting out of bed. You aren't feeling your best. You're exhausted. You're tired. You're
not showing up 100% in your life.
You have anxiety.
Right.
You're depressed. I mean, there's all these things that this is an option to look at.
Yes.
So.
Well, it's wonderful, Michelle. All right. Well, what we're going to do is we are going to have information at the end of the show with the link to My Jane and the information there. And the other thing is there any other final piece of advice you'd like to share with the audience?
All right. So the biggest thing that I've learned this last year, I had my best year and my worst year in 1 year. And everything from, starting with a company that we started and in 5 months selling.
Yes.
And
phenomenal.
Being acquired with a company that we're, joining that will help us become really a global name.
Yes.
So that's very, very exciting. In that, having just some family issues, a child that was in the hospital for, several weeks. I mean, some stuff that was just all happening at the same time. And, I look back at that and I think, how did I get through it? And really, and there was a lot of stuff going on that made it this great year as well. And that was what I refer to as this +1 mentality. And it's really focusing on staying in your lane and doing your genius and finding a +1 that can do their genius. And you can come together. So for me, Kim Kovacs, my life got a lot better when I stopped trying to do everything.
Oh, I love this.
Right?
Yeah.
And, her strength and her genius is raising capital, and she loves a good spreadsheet. And mine was, marketing and promoting
so
and being
creative.
able to get out there and the creative side.
You are so creative.
And so it's been this beautiful, beautiful match. And we joke, it's like I've got my work husband, in Kim, and I've got my home husband and Eric of 22 years, and they're super alike.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really like. And, just brought in my assistant who is also like them.
Yes.
So it's like this tornado that comes in. And, I'm on this mission, to be able to really get this message out there. And I've got this incredible support team that I refer to as my PAC, my personal advisory council.
I love
and
that.
It's everything from Patrice, who does my hair and he's my stylist, to Karen Love, who I don't even know how to describe her. I mean, she's this phenomenal just counselor, spiritual being that has truly, just helped guide me as I embark on this movement and this global movement. So that's the piece of advice I would give is, don't think you have to do it all yourself.
Right.
Why? I mean, and you're so much more effective and you're better. And then you get to a place of feeling like, wow, I can't tell if I'm working or if I'm playing. That's how much I'm loving what I'm doing.
Loving my life. Yes. You don't struggle trying to figure out something that's not in your wheelhouse. You're not supposed to be doing it.
And you don't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
It's not fun anyway.
It's not.
Why?
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where it's just, you step into this knowing.
Yes.
I mean, really just like knowing.
Yes.
And that's when you come up with these amazing, creative masterpieces because you're in your wheelhouse.
Right. You're doing what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
You can see that big vision in that picture. So, all right. That's great advice. Well, thank you so much for coming to the studio and visiting and doing this masterclass with us. And we can't wait to find out more and more what's going on with My Jane. We'll be following you, and I'll be seeing you.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I tell people, I'm all buckle up.
Yeah.
If you want to come with us, you gotta really step into your genius.
Yes.
And then ask. I mean, receive.
Yes.
Ask for the information. It's there. It's available. It's ready. And there's women, like Diane that are there to help. So that you're not doing this by yourself.
Right. Well, I am sure a fan, and I will be referring people to you constantly. So
I love you, and I love running with you, and I'm so proud of the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Really, really, really proud of what you've been building. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Okay, well, that's it for this special episode of I Have Today. We will see you next time. I'm Diane Forster. Take care. Bye-bye.